everybody? I've been back home in Utah now for like 2 or 3 days. As y'all know from the last video, somebody attempted to try and assault me. So after talking to the authorities and then the National Park Service right there at Fontana Dam, was cautioned to come home for a couple weeks and then get back out on trail. As you can probably see, I'm home. It's kind of bittersweet. Man, it's awesome to be home with my daughter, my wife, my dog, and to see family, and gonna be back here during peak fishing season. So it's been fun the last couple days. You know, I also get to enjoy views like this. Big, beautiful mountains, Timpanogos on the background, nice view of the Jordan River. But you're probably really here to figure out what happened between me and said individual and why I had to come back to Utah from Tennessee. Well, I did want to kind of keep this channel as apolitical as possible, because in entertainment, I don't think politics should be a thing. You don't go fishing to get politics thrown at you. You don't go hiking to get politics thrown at you. You don't go to a sports game to get politics thrown at you. You go for the entertainment value and just to check out from reality for like however long you're there. Just kind of forget about worldly things, right? Like, it's the obvious. It's why we all do it. It's why we all love the outdoors. But you know, I'll probably lose some of you guys, especially when I start talking about this and revealing some identity stuff about me. If that's the case, that's the case. But kind of feel strongly about what we're going to talk about today and what happened to me between Stokoe Gap, a little bit outside of there, all the way to Fontana Dam. So on May 12th, I left the NOC to head towards Brown Fork Gap Shelter with some of my family, or my tramley, as it's known in the hiking community. And what a crappy hike, by the way. Beautiful, but that elevation sucked. Took a break up at Chioa Bald with Ricky. I mean, I decided to split ways so I could head further down. And somewhere in between Chioa and Stokoe Gap, I started to hear someone start yelling at me and start asking questions. So as any one person does, I turned around and said, hey man, you good? Like, what's up? Can I help you with anything? Do you need anything? Do you need some water? Like, what's going on? Why are you yelling? He goes, oh, I just kind of wanted to, get in the fish. All right, I'm back. But yeah, so the guy started yelling at me and whatnot, and started asking questions. Just kind of, at first, no biggie. Like, sounds like hikers, tight-knit community. We're all out there hiking the trail. He asked me what my name was. I was like, yeah, I'm Scott, or you can call me Bear Magnet. You know, I'm from Utah, because he wanted to know where I was at. And kind of hiked for a little bit. Nothing was really too bad, and this is where it's going to get a little bit controversial. Well, right after he found out I was from Utah, he started making derogatory slang towards the prominent religious group here in Utah, which If you're not familiar with that, it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or what some people call Mormon, which is a derogatory term because during the right before the Civil War, whenever there was mass migration from the east to Utah, many Democratic governors signed execution orders to murder, kill, and exterminate members of this religion. Now, you could probably see why that kind of got a rise out of me, because I am a member of the prominent religious community here in Utah. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We try to tend to be pretty level-headed. I mean, I know there are some hotheads out there. I'm a hothead. But he kept on coming at me, basically saying like, oh, you're one of those magical Mormon, underwear wearing bigots from Utah that, are just out here looking for another wife. Who are you preying on? There's no proselyting on the trail. You guys do all these secretive cultish things in your places of worship, and there's no place for you in the United States. And that was just kind of the tip of the iceberg. I don't want to go kind of any further, just to kind of keep it PG. We're going to be tipping on the edge of PG-13 with some of the colorful language this person directed towards me. Well, then said person also started making assumptions of my political affiliation, because yet again, I'm from Utah. The prominent party here is the Republican Party, or we are a very conservative state because of the nature of our religion. It turned into making attacks about me as a conservative, me as a bigot, a racist, a hateful individual. I'm really trying to keep it PG, just because this is a family channel, and I'm just trying to get across kind of what happened. Then things started to be thrown at me, rocks, sticks, more obscenities. So I decided to pick up my pick up my pace. I started trail running, made it down to Socoa. Ended up catching up with Ricky. Ricky did see this person. So we decided to just kind of tag along all the way up to Brown Fork, where I finished the day, and there were no other issues. So you may ask yourself, well, where's the assault in that? Well, the assault took place the next day on May 13th. Woke up at Brown Fork about 5:30, got on the trail about 6:30, and headed towards Fontana. It was going to be quick 11.5 mile days, and then I was going to take a 0 the next day. Made it to about Cable Fork shelter, where I was filling up some water, and all of a sudden I started hearing yelling, screaming, obscenities. Things were starting to get thrown, and luckily I was almost done with my water, filling up my water, so I threw my stuff in my pack and kind of just took off down the trail, or I should say up the trail, because it was all uphill from there. So it was kind of the unperfect place to get caught. Anyways, I made it to Walker Gap, what I believe to be Walker Gap, and decided to take a break, kind of let my legs rest for a little bit, and next thing you know, I feel a rock strike me in the back of my backpack, and then another one hit me in the back of my shoulder, Another one hit me in the back of the head. Luckily, nothing serious happened. Another thing that ended up happening during the middle of the attack and leading up to it was he had been eavesdropping. I'm pretty sure, I'm only assuming, but there was actually a high number of military veterans on the trail, which I am a veteran. I served my country, and he started screaming obscenities about the military, how I was a baby killer, and that I deserved no right to live, that I should pay for the crimes that I've committed against humanity, and that in the middle of the night he was going to slit my throat and make me pay for all the things that I had done, and he wanted to do that to basically make peace for those people that I assumedly had killed because of my association with the military. I went to get back up, and I felt myself get yanked down, and then a fist coming towards me. So I did what any reasonable person would do during a self-defense, and took my trekking poles and started beating the hell out of this guy until he ran off, and again picked up my pace, ran all the way down to Fontana. I made it from Brown Fork to Fontana in like 3.5 hours, maybe 4, just because I wanted to get the heck out of Dodge. I called dispatch from the marina. No one really ever came, and called them again. Fish, double fish. Got the rod bent. Yeah. You got a nice channel kitty. Look at this nice little channel kitty. Well, thanks for joining me for my first fish of the year, and it was a decent channel kitty. I gotta go back and figure out where it was at. Oh, anyways. As you can see, I only got one fish. The other fish got away. But called dispatch for the second time, and the person told me, basically connected me to an officer, and the officer told me, due to the transient nature of the through hiking community, that there was really nothing that they could do, and that they would take a description of the person and pass it along to the other authorities, and basically for me to go home for about 1 to 2 weeks and then come back on trail and start again from Fontana. Well, next day rolls around, and I'm eating at the breakfast area at the lodge in Fontana, and lo and behold, guess who comes strolling through the freaking doors to the lodge? Good old bruised up buddy himself, the guy who attacked me, and learned the real hard way not to mess with me. Yeah. So after said person came in through the lodge doors, I decided to go back to my room, pack my stuff up, and make the educated decision to get a shuttle from Fontana to the airport and come back to Utah. Yeah. I really hoped that the hiker community would really be open and receptive to veterans, which they were, and that we could forget about all these social constructs that the world is throwing at us right now, which many of us did look past, but this one individual had to push the limit, and I guess wanted to make me pay for being, you know, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, being an assumed Republican, and for being a military veteran. It's just disheartening because I use the trail, or any trail, for treatment, because as we all know here in the United States, the VA is trash. I've been out for 5 years now, basically on the dot, and I've seen mental health twice in 5 years. And I've worked other jobs in like EMS and dealt with crap from that. I've worked in corrections, seen a lot of stupid shit in that. Sorry, crap in that. You know, worked at the VA. I've seen a lot of crap there. Military, I've seen a lot of crap. And this is where I come to like decompress and forget about things and just have a good time. I just find it very unfortunate that that race, religion, creed, political parties, you name it, all the BS that is social constructs of the world that we've created just found a way to wiggle itself into the trail, all because of one person. Now, you may be asking yourself, am I going to leave Utah, go back to the trail? Am I going to finish the trail? Yes. I'm kind of waiting to see how the government's going to handle this default before I decide to hit the trail. I've already bought my ticket. Okay, there's a fish. There's a fish messing with my stuff, so I'll be right back. I've already bought my ticket to become a flip-flop and head up to Katahdin and head southbound to Fontana to get the last 20 or 2,030 miles ish, because I made it to mile marker 170 before I had to get off trail. So yeah, I'll be hitting the Appalachian Trail again come June 21st, probably the 22nd. And I'll be climbing Katahdin and heading southbound. So I have enough content to get you guys through until that day, so it'll just be like, you know, I'll be there. So thanks to you guys for following along, being understanding, and hopefully the country and the world will figure itself out and we can enjoy, like I said at the beginning, like sporting events, outdoors, and just anything without the constant crap that's facing us. I'd really appreciate that. And anyways, I tried to keep this as PG and apolitical as possible. I hope you guys will stay as members of my channel, and I will see ya at Katahdin.